Welcome to the first submodule of the Module Project Management and Donor Perspective. In this submodule, we will try to define project management and explore how it differs from organizational management. We will explore some different project management models and find out why they are maybe not so important in the daily work of project managers. We will look at the trends and tendencies of project management, and we will introduce you to the principal-agent theory and how this model is challenged when projects are financed by external donors. Finally, we will look at some examples of donors that are financing projects in the youth sector. The central learnings from this submodule are: 1. Project management is unique because a project is temporary. 2. All the different project management models provide limited help for the project manager. 3. Experience, intuition, and gut feeling are the best guides for the project managers in daily implementation. 4. Project management is increasingly focusing on creating value. 5. Managing a project is largely about ensuring that a project develops in the direction that the base organization needs. Working with a donor, the project manager, however, needs to move both in the direction that the base organization needs, but also in the direction that the donor expects. 6. Knowing and understanding your donor is essential for your work. A short Google search will give you a lot of different definitions of project management. The Oxford English Dictionary defines project as an individual or collaborative enterprise that is carefully planned and designed to achieve a particular aim. The Europe Aid Guide says that a project is a series of activities aimed at bringing about clearly specified objectives within a defined time period and with a defined budget. An often used definition is the one of Cleland and King from 1983, who described the project as a complex effort to achieve a specific objective having to respect a deadline and a budget, and which typically extends beyond organizational borders, is unique and generally one-off in the organization. Finally, the Project Management Institute, also PMI, concludes that a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. Common for all those definitions is that they see a project as a unit established for the purpose of solving a task. The project is an effort to complete that task and then be closed. Managing a project, you, therefore, manage an organization that has the purpose of finishing its job and then close. This makes project management very different from organizational management. Managing an organization, you would hope that the organization lasts for eternity. Managing a project, you usually hope to be able to close it in a certain time period. However, if we look at the word project, we find that it was first used in or around the 16th century. It derives from the Latin procicere, meaning throw forward. The Latin root, thus, suggests movement and change. This is exactly what we believe projects do. It creates progress, accelerates development, and defines the future. Project management courses are often based on one or more models or figures supposedly summarizing the project management task or the flow. Like most models of organizational processes, those are often aiming to break down complicated processes and to make them easy to overview and understand. We have collected a number of these models that you might have already come across. The collection of models is not a recommendation for you. If the models are giving you useful input, we are happy. But if you don't feel that it portrays the projects you are doing, then just lean back and enjoy the ride. For many project managers, these models are only partially helpful. However, we don't feel that it would be right to make a project management course without mentioning them. One of the most frequently used models is the project triangle. You can find this model in many different variations. The point of the model is that project management is about balancing three different aspects of the project, namely the output quality, the time, and the budget. If any of the elements is changed, it will impact the other elements and the overall project. A popular resource for youth workers is the T-Kit series, published by the Council of Europe. T-Kit is a guidebook on project management and encompasses a number of project models. All the models are highlighting different aspects of project management and helping the users to understand different perspectives and dimensions. One of the models is describing a project as a linear process with a loop of implementation, monitoring, and fine-tuning, whereas the other one is emphasizing the point of departure in the current situation with an understanding of the background and history. The third is highlighting the evaluation as an ongoing activity and is taking a point of departure in the aim of the base organization. And the fourth model draws attention to the role of the individual. The fifth model is describing the project as a spiral process, where all actions originate from and circle around your chosen perspective. A single model can be so complex that you may ask yourself what the purpose is, or how could this simplify the understanding of the complex process in the project. If you don't feel that any of these models represent the process that you are having within your project, you are not alone. Projects are complicated and rarely linear. In reality, we are always planning, always evaluating, always analyzing, always changing, always performing, and always implementing. To make a model that most project managers feel fits to how they experience a project would not be easy, but an attempt could look like this. Most project managers probably feel that managing a project is like managing a series of many different situations, all in different shapes and colors, all with different dilemmas or challenges. In other words, most project managers probably feel that they are navigating through chaos and solving problems and challenges as they come. The different project management models presented in this submodule are each emphasizing a certain perspective on projects. Some of them take the perspective of the organization behind. Others focus upon the task. Finally, some models focus on stakeholders, change, resources, or system. All those perspectives are important, as without organization, tasks, stakeholders, change, system, or resources, would there be no project. The perspectives are, however, insufficient to offer NGOs the full picture because we often depend on external donors. In this course, we will therefore add the donor perspective to existing models and theories. When donors, for example, the EU, agree to co-finance your project, it is because by doing so, they are carrying out a policy. According to the Treaty on the Function of the European Union Article 6, the EU has a supportive competence to make policies in the field of youth and education. This means that the EU cannot just make a law enforcing their ideas or policies on the member states. For the EU to achieve their political visions, they are thus dependent on people like you and organizations, such as your NGO. With programs like Erasmus+, the EU has an instrument for financing you to help achieve its own political objectives. And think about it, EU has a political vision developed based on the general needs of society. You, on the other hand, know how to work with, for example, youth and know the needs of young people and how to reach them. With donor programs such as those of the EU, we can therefore make policies jointly, uniting the best of two worlds. This, however, renders most conventional management theories useless. Most project management theories focus on how an organization can control their project and make sure that the project is producing exactly what the organization needs. This situation does, however, change drastically when the project is donor-funded. In this case, it is equally important to manage the project in a way that it achieves both the outcome desired by the organization and by the donor. The project manager may therefore have two different principles to serve. Traditional project management tools typically help to phrase the desired results in a tangible and concrete form, so that the project has a very clear picture of the end product. However, the problem with this is that the final product is often not known in details before the beginning of the project. Often, the final product is a result of the process that the project is conducting. Other project management tools offer help to describe in details the process that leads to the result. Yet again, the problem is that it is often impossible to describe the entire process from the beginning because Step 3 may depend on the results of Step 2, that again depend on the results of Step 1. The principal agent theory advice is that in case neither the process nor the desired result can be precisely described, socialization between project and organization or agent and principal should be facilitated. This situation is easy to picture if we think of a commercial enterprise running a project of some kind. The task is to make sure that the people on each side understand each other's visions, ambitions, challenges, and cultures. Many consultancy companies have specialized in team building camps or events that exactly facilitate this type of communication. The challenge for us is, however, the complexity of donor-financed projects. We can easily make socialization events within our own organization, and we are also provided with a certain process and a set of desired results described by the donor. However, to fully understand the direction you should take as a project manager, you need to understand your donor. An important precondition for using any of the tools offered by this course is, therefore, that you understand the background, priorities, and context of your donor. Useful links to understanding the EU and the background of the Programme for Youth and Education can be found in the notes of this course. If you only have limited time for reading, we suggest you prioritize this part. Project management is a field in constant development. A good read for project management suggested in our reading list is an article by Winter and others. The article points at 5 trends in project management. First of all, the article suggests that project management models are shifting from being life cycle models to being models emphasizing the theory of complexity. The article also suggests that project management theory is increasingly focusing on value creation instead of product delivery. The article suggests a shift from a narrow conceptualization of projects based on instrumental processes to a broader conceptualization of projects based on complex social processes. Finally, the article suggests that the perception of a project manager has changed. While a project manager used to be perceived as a trained technician, today's project manager is rather perceived as a reflective practitioner. Based on that, this course will not make you a project manager. What will make you a project manager is your work with project management. What will make you a good project manager is your successes, your failures, and your learning from those. This course can give you tools, reflections, and ideas, but the experiences you will have to make yourself. Good luck in your work. In this submodule, you have learned that 1. Managing a project is different from managing an organization because the purpose of the project is to complete the task and close. 2. There is a variety of project management models that can be used for handling a series of situations. 3. Experience, intuition, and gut feeling are the best guides for the project managers in daily implementation. 4. Managing a project is largely about ensuring that a project moves in the direction that your organization and the donor needs. 5. Knowing and understanding your donor is essential for your work. 6. Project management is increasingly focusing on creating value, and courses won't make you a good project manager. Only experience, success, failures, and your reflection on those will make you a good project manager.